Good morning. Welcome as we begin on this day, the 5th of November, to gather in fellowship. Welcome if this is your first, your 10th, your 100th time here at Mountain Vista Unitarian Universalist Congregation. We are made whole by having you all here today, together, whether in person or virtually. I ask for those of you here in person, please turn around and wave at the camera as we welcome those of you watching virtually now or later. So today, remember the 5th of November. Gratitude discussed in part. Didn't think I was going to say that, huh? I can think of no good reason why gratitude season should ever be forgot. Today's service will be led by Reverend Matthew Foncreri as we explore this month's theme on gratitude. We start today in this month's exploration of gratitude as a foundation of our faith and bringing in the gratitude felt for the work of MVU leaders and programs. Gratitude is sometimes hard to tap into when negative things are happening, both in the world and in our personal lives. I'm reminded that emotions are like muscles. The ones that get stronger are the ones that you practice actively. Focusing on things, whether small, like the fact I got here on time with the kids, with them being in a good mood, or large, like my gratitude for my friends and my family and the relationships in my life, helps me focus. So focusing on those helps me pull me away from the parts of me that wants to ruminate, or sometimes that becomes very unhelpful. Reading up on this topic beforehand, I'm grateful for the reminder of the benefits, as well as the reset for my own gratitude practice. With tremendous gratitude, I thank the many people here who helped put this together at each service. Chris Sackett, our wonderful music director, Joel Yelland, our song director, our audiovisual folks, Lee, Bob, and Alex out in there in the back, our RE folks who are helping take care of the kids while we're able to be here, the parents who are able to be here. And thank you to our welcoming crew, those who greet everyone who comes in, and our hospitality team who puts together refreshments after service. Please consider joining us afterwards as well. And then finally, thank you to all of you for being a part of today's service. It is a pleasure to see you all. Today's chalice lighting, This is the Hour by Reverend Connie Simon. This is the hour, the time has come. Mindful of our responsibilities as leaders of this faith and guardians of the living tradition, we call upon that great cloud of witnesses, those who came before, those who are here now, and those who have yet to come. We seek their presence, love, and support in this place at this hour. We kindle this flame to light their path and call them near as we undertake this sacred work. Thank you, and blessed be.
Has been a good one. We will open today with our song leader, Joel, taking us through We Give Thanks, which there are some usual and new lyrics to. Now, I've given Joel the hint, but this is your hint to pay attention to what's projected, and know that it was with the help of ChatGPT and my own lyricism, which is often questioned. Please stand and rise in body or in spirit and lift your voices together.
They lay with wisdom and God. for this precious day, for all gathered here and those far away, for this time we share with love and care. Oh, we give thanks for this precious day.
Please be seated. I invite you now to a time of contemplation, of considering, pondering the mountains of gratitude that inspire us beyond all of the challenges that we face. Our Baja 4 collaboration with the 3 other Unitarian Universalist congregations here in southern Arizona has delivered us many connections and projects. As we say, we are stronger together. The Desert Ritual Year, then, is just one of those gifts crafted by our clergy and artists, musicians, worship planners, and poets. It brings our awareness of the Sonoran Desert, its seasons, and remarkable and unique flora and fauna together with its harsh beauty into a meaningful focus for our lives. Each month then has a different theme inside that dry calendar, dry as Desert Ritual Year as we've come to call it. It's an example then from the desert to inspire our engagement. And this month we turn to gratitude with the desert mountains as our example. We found that it's not always easy, however, to engage in all of those themes. As Summer shared in her welcome, and what is happening in the world, with what is happening locally, what is happening in our own lives is so negative, a dry theme may be challenging to engage. Perhaps the theme hits too close to home, as we found for some during last month when we focused on grief. Perhaps the war between Israel and Palestine, the loss of life and the humanitarian crisis there, or the mass shootings here in the US, the rise of authoritarian politics, the increase of the distance and lies between neighbors, the presence of hate and fear lurking around every corner. These we bring with us, and more. They are unexpected and unbidden, and they may make these pre-planned themes feel superficial. It was poet Emily Dickinson, who was influenced by Unitarianism and Transcendentalism in the 1800s, who looked deeply into our emotions, our feelings of what is happening into our world. And she wrote, "A darting fear, a pomp, a tear, waking on a morn to find what one waked for, and inhales the different dawn." We can and we do awaken to the losses in life, the grief and the suffering. And of course, we are here in support and care and comfort for one another. And we are here to remind one another that there are different dawns. There are unchanging values that our faith, our Unitarian Universalism tells us are true. And for a little help here, I turn to my good friend ChatGPT to write a poem in the style of Emily Dickinson about the Sonoran Mountains and gratitude. And here is, with some editing, what ChatGPT had to say. In Sonora's sweeping landscapes, there as mountains touch the sky. A sense of gratitude prevails as fear goes rushing by. Beneath the blazing sun, they rise in hues of red and gold, their majesty a timeless gift to all who dare behold. Each jagged ridge and canyon deep, a testament to time as nature's artistry unveiled in every peak sublime. The sunsets paint the desert skies with colors bold and true. In the Sonoran Mountains, our gratitude finds its due. We're here, amidst this grandeur vast, where cacti bloom and soar, we learn to cherish every day and love this land all the more. In Sonora's mountain's grace, our hearts find solace too, a foundation for our gratitude beneath the endless blue. This month, alongside our sibling congregations of the Baja Four, we will seek to know the foundations of gratitude. We'll seek that timeless and unchanging sense of thanks and appreciation that is there like the mountains are there for us. And here at Mountain Vista, may we awaken to a gratitude and together perhaps even raise a practice of thanks that holds and guides us, no matter what comes. I invite you now to a time of meditation. Perhaps it's just that brief pause in your week to breathe, a moment to hold the center. Perhaps it's just a place where you need to be held in the care of these people. My ancestors and elders have taught me always begin in gratitude, so that through all of the peaks and valleys, gratitude is there to guide you. In their teachings about how we might live and thrive through the challenge of climate change, Joanna Macy and John Gladstone write, much of the oxygen we breathe comes from the plants that died long ago. And we can give thanks to these ancestors of our present day foliage, but we can't give back to them. We can, however, give forward. When we are unable to return the favor, we can pay it forward to someone or something else. Using this approach, we can see ourselves as part of a larger flow of giving and receiving throughout time, receiving from the past. We can give to the future. And when tackling issues such as climate change, the stance of gratitude is a refreshing alternative to guilt or to fear as a source of motivation. And so with their wisdom, I invite you to open yourself to your gratitude, to all that you have received that constitutes your body, that has crafted your mind, that moves your emotions. All that is you. Your wholeness, your spirit, the gifts you have received. Breathe and welcome whatever gratitude comes to you, to your body, to your mind, to your heart, to spirit. May each and all know gratitude, and may we all pass it forward. Amen. Today, and for the 2 following Sundays, we're going to pause and recognize the leadership of individuals here in our congregation. As we speak the names of a total of 9 people, and our nominating committee members read biographies based on individual interviews with them, you're going to hear more than just one person's story of leadership. You will hear our collective narrative of how our community of faith guides and grows together. So may we listen in gratitude.
Tom Bunch. Many of you may know Tom through his work with Membership Community Connections. I've gotten to know Tom through the Caring Hearts group, which started in 2020, and also had the opportunity to work with him on the new minister search. Tom, there you are. I've appreciated your guidance, your organizational skills, and your role modeling continuous of growth. Tom Bunch has been a Mountain Vista UU member for 16 years and a visitor for 6 years prior. He attended UUCT as a visitor for 2 years, which is where he came across Unitarian Universalism and appreciated that there was a welcoming church for non-theists. He identifies as always having been community-minded, oriented, and sees the work of community as a forever thing in his life. Tom has been the chair of various committees: RE Committee Chair, Building and Grounds, Stewardship, Membership Community Connections, as well as the new minister search. He has been involved with other activities along the way, including Committee on Ministry, Beloved Conversations, Mesquite Madness, Book Club, Choya Chow Time, Firewalkers, and Caring Hearts Circle. And Tom, I'm sure we're missing a few. Tom has focused much of his leadership at MVUU by leaning into stressed spaces. He was open about his appreciation for getting roughed up in the challenges of committee work. He is also appreciative of the growth that comes with the discomfort of doing things outside of his wheelhouse. With that being said, Tom's work is highly appreciated from MVUU's end. Some of his many, many gifts to this congregation have included his ability to bring peace through building communication, order, stability, and safety. And of course, spreadsheets. Poignant times for Tom at MVUU have included talent shows, spending time with Leon and Evelyn, Reverend Sam's baby shower, key moments in the new minister search process, sharing in the Committee on Ministry, and most Sunday services. Soul massages, he calls them. Tom, thank you. In gratitude, we truly appreciate all the work that you've done.
Tom Sawyer. Tom is known for his ability to make and deepen connections with others. For example, at the height of COVID, he set up opportunities for members and friends of the congregation to meet outside on the patio of a local cafe so that we could come out of our cocoons, engage one another, and talk more deeply. In addition, working with Reverend Sam, our interim minister, Tom established the men's group that still meets weekly. Tom is also known for his willingness to tackle the hard projects and see them through. Here are some examples. Tom served on the Pastoral Associates Committee, first as a member and then as chair. Due to a longer than anticipated absence of our minister at that time, Tom and his committee had to ensure that the pulpit was filled not just for 4 or 5 times, but for 60 times. That's right, 60. Amazing, Tom. Tom also served on the ministerial committee for Reverend Sam. This meant honest and direct feedback to the minister, as well as detailed reports to the UUA Association. During Tom's tenure as president of the board here, with the work and support of many people out there, MVUU finished and opened this beautiful building, searched for and hired our current minister, and introduced the sustainability campaign. This campaign moved MVU from a deficit position to a surplus. And beyond that, they put in place new operating and financial procedures to help us continue to thrive in the future. So after talking with Tom about these and other things, my question to him was, why put all of this work into MVUU? And his response was, there is a deep sense of community here, and that's worth preserving. Thank you, Tom.
I have to share that with all the interviews that myself and the rest of the nominating committee had to do, we were inspired, and trying to get all the information and put it down to 250 words was tough. Peter Beshkahazi, out there in the back. Back in 2008, I attended my first MVU service in the Cromwell building. Peter, you were the one who greeted me before and on subsequent visits would check in afterwards during coffee hour. I wanted to share that was impactful. I may not have left remembering the exact things that were said, but I did remember the warmth that was shown. Welcoming characterizes Peter's presence at MVUU. He has served a significant role on the welcoming committee as both a member and until recently co-chair of the committee. He has welcomed countless people to MVUU, which seems a natural fit for someone who enjoys meeting new people. Peter started attending MVUU back in 2003 when he and his wife Kathleen moved to Tucson after retirement. They had been members prior at the Unitarian Congregation of Rockville, Maryland. They had tried several religious congregations and joined a Unitarian Universalist congregation in 1987. Peter served in the Foreign Service, and his assignments meant that he, along with his family, Kathleen and his 2 sons, were assigned to live in various places overseas. There were times this led to being able to meet and interact with other UUs. Peter shared that at one point in Switzerland, hosting gatherings where UUs would travel from around the country to be in fellowship together. Although technically retired, Peter continues to work both as a faculty member at Pima Community College, as well as an expert tutor at the U of A's SALT Center. Peter has served in so many ways at MVUU. He has been on the welcoming committee since he started at MVUU. He's been a board member, nominating committee, RE resource person, membership committee, worked on Contigo, and was on a ministerial search committee. Peter, I'm sure I'm also missing a few. He is currently on the endowment committee and continues to be interested in social justice causes as they come up, both at MVUU and in his own community work. Although he is stepping back from his role as co-chair of the welcoming committee, Peter still plans on being a presence on occasional Sundays, and I thank you for that. Thank you so much for all that you've done.
In our celebration for new members, we say, our church is more than the building, more than a minister. It is all of us. And in that, we rely on leaders to help us build a covenanted community. Leaders like Tom and Peter. Would the 3 of you join me, please, here? Handsome crowd. Their wisdom and action have guided our congregation to be and to become our highest aspirations. And as we've just heard, individually you have given us much. But as you know, leadership in our congregation is not the result of your single impact, but the ripple that you've created among us. The rolling out of warmth and of vision, of passion and action to our members, our friends, our children, and our guests. Together we roll that out into the world. With this in mind, I'm going to invite everyone here to join in a ritual of giving thanks. And so will all of those who have served with Tom Bunch on committees and in projects rise in body or in spirit and remain standing? Just rise up if you've been on any of those things that were mentioned. Thank you. Will all of those who served with Tom Sawyer on committees and in project rise in body or in spirit and remain standing? All of those who served with Peter on committees and in projects rise in body or in spirit and remain standing. And then to all of you who have felt the ripple, benefited from the warmth and the vision and the passion and the work of committees and projects that these individuals have led, please rise in body or in spirit. And then I'm going to invite everyone else, all of you, to rise in body or spirit, knowing that even if you are our guests today for the very first time, you are feeling the ripple of the leadership of these three. Now, I want to invite you to do something that we have not done in so long, but do it as you're comfortable. Take hands with those around you, or elbows. Touch elbows if that's more comfortable. And you can reach across that aisle in the front there. You on Zoom, if you are comfortable, raise your hands. Raise up one hand as if you are giving and the other as if you are receiving. We thank you. And during the ritual, that's all of your line. For this, we thank you. Could you put it up on the screen? For this, we thank you. Repeat it after me. For this, we thank you. And I'll let you know when you come in. You, dear leaders, have served us well. And for this, we thank you. You have led us steadily for years. And in time, you have handed over the reins of what you have so carefully tended and held. And for this, we thank you. You have attended endless meetings, written countless emails, created untold spreadsheets, recruited dozens of volunteers, drafted untold articles, and greeted people with that great wealth and warmth that you carry. You have brought a spirit of dedication. You have brought your love and a deep, abiding faith in the growing, evolving spiritual community that is this congregation, and for this we thank you. You have helped us devote ourselves to learning about faith for all ages, embracing human diversity by welcoming individuals and families of a rainbow, and joined in the larger community to promote love and justice and compassion. For this we thank you. If you would, read to them.
We know that our lives can and always will be a bishop for having served you. We are grateful to have served and grateful that others take on the roles and give their gifts as we can. For the opportunity to put on and take on these leadership hats, we thank you. For the opportunity to serve, we thank you.
And to all of those joining in this ritual here and remotely, you too have an opportunity to lead. May this litany serve as a reminder that we all have the ability and the obligation to say yes to service in this community and also to say yes to stepping down after a time. even if it seems like there is no one there to take your place. May each of you here accept the invitation to say yes to sharing your own passions and your gifts for the betterment of our congregation and for the growth of our world. We trust that you will find the right way to nurture your spirit and serve this community. And for this, we thank you. Thank you. Wait. 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 Thank you. Our sacred song, For All That Is Our Life, will be led by Joel, and I have not monkeyed with the lyrics. That's the last hymn. I'll do that again. Please rise as you are willing and able, and join your voices together.
For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. Look up, follow the leader. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and all's rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. And all that is our life. For sorrow we must bear, for failures, lies, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
Please be seated. Thank you. That was better than my adaptation. Much I appreciate it. At 10 a.m. every day, my gratitude alarm goes off. No matter where I'm at or what I'm engaged in, rain or shine, my smart device sounds. And I open myself up to gratitude. How do I stop that? It's a practice I started back in 2016 after I heard a dear friend and colleague, the Reverend Carolyn Price, deliver a sermon about the purpose of our faith in the face of life's challenges. Reverend Carolyn preached, "Religion exists, as theologians tell us, to answer that question at the center of our being in such a difficult time. How then shall we live? How then shall we live?" Don't know about you, but it's a question I certainly have been asking myself in these challenging times. On her way to an answer, she quotes the Reverend Dr. Galen Gingrich, a senior minister of All Souls Unitarian in Manhattan. And he says, in the same way that Judaism is defined by obedience, Christianity by love, or Islam by submission, I believe that Unitarian Universalism is defined by gratitude, which Reverend Carolyn interprets as that we should be grateful for all that is our life, for our great interdependence with one another and with all living beings. And it's in that statement and through her ministry that she's taught me that as a Unitarian Universalist, that if through the most challenging times in my life I can still be grateful, then it can be the means for me to live through all the times of my life. And for this, I have to thank her. Thank you. Thank you, my friend. Unlike those other Western faith traditions that Reverend Galen names, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, we Unitarian Universalists don't have figures or stories or theology or established beliefs as examples of how we should live. Moses led the Hebrew people out of slavery and through the wilderness for 40 years by obedience to what we call the Ten Commandments, in a covenant with Yahweh. Jesus of Nazareth lived by the wisdom, love your enemies, do good for those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who mistreat you. Muhammad, may peace be upon him, through his submission to Allah became the prophet and teacher of peace through Islam, which literally means submission in Arabic. In these exemplars of faith, there is an answer for how shall we live in difficult times. And for the people of those traditions, that's where they seek and find their answers. Obedience to freedom, love to enemies, submission unto peace. And while these answers may first seem counterintuitive, obedience leading to freedom, loving an enemy, submission as a method of peace, it is these religious traditions' means to be counter to the established norms and practices of any age, of every age, so that people may be awake and aware of deeper and lasting foundational values, so that they teach us how to live. Of course, we Unitarian Universalists don't have figures or stories like these in our religious tradition. It's not because we are a younger faith, although we are. It's not because we don't have individuals to inspire us, because we do. It is because we seek our understanding and our inspiration through our relationships with one another. It's not what would Jesus do, it's what would you do? And what would you do? And what would you do? And what would we do? We seek to understand how to live through our connections to individuals and leaders like Tom and Peter. We seek it through the lives and the instruction of preachers like Reverend Carolyn and Reverend Galen. We seek it from the people right here in this room and out there on Zoom. And although I'm only in my second year here among you, when I contemplate and meditate on what I have witnessed, it is this: when the going gets tough, MVUU leans into gratitude. Similar to other Western religions, this is our reaction to the most negative aspects, the deepest and the loneliest valleys of life. And just like them, it is totally counterintuitive. When the going gets tough, we turn to gratitude. But that's our answer. It's the answer that widows and widowers have trusted me to have in their moment of heart-rending loss. And they share how grateful they are for you and this community. I've witnessed it through the tears and fears being choked back at the times of this world, of this country, of people's neighbors and their family and their friends turning their backs on them. And yet somehow they are able to name their gratitude for this faith community. And it's echoed to me as our leaders face the challenges and the changes that are so unexpected and unasked for. They take a deep breath, and you can take a deep breath with me if you want, and let it out. They count the many blessings they have received from you, and then they dig in and they give back. How are we to live? How are we to live in all that we bring with us into this space? We engage in gratitude. It is counterintuitive, it is countercultural, and it is us. And for that, I thank you. And through the rest of this month, we're going to pursue it. We're going after the gratitude. And we will not be turning away from the negatives. We'll not be turning, because that's not us. For the spirit of this congregation says that when there are negatives, we go gratitude. And so we'll contemplate and meditate together on the loss and the pain, the injustice and the suffering. And then, as it is our way right here, as Unitarian Universalists of Mountain Vista, we turn to appreciation, thankfulness, gratitude as the foundation for our shared faith in one another and in life. And who knows, although it's probably a good bet, that on our way to gratitude, we will find the means to live and to act. And may it be so then, because it is what we choose today and in all of our days together. I did monkey with the final hymn, but so did he. So do you want to give any instruction about how we're going to do this?
Well, the words on the screen should be correct. So we'll see how that works. It's a simple song. I'm going to do or sing or whatever the word is, and then it's just follow the words and follow Joel, and I think we'll be in good shape.
All right. May you rise in body or in spirit and raise your voices together for when the Spirit says do.
This is your chance to move. Don't waste it. You gotta do when the Spirit says do. You gotta do when the Spirit says do. 'Cause when the Spirit says do, you gotta do. Oh Lord, you gotta do when the Spirit says do. You gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. You gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. 'Cause when the Spirit says sing, you gotta sing, oh Lord. You gotta sing when the Spirit says sing. Spirit says sing. Spirit says sing. Spirit
says thank. You gotta thank when the Spirit says thank. 'Cause when the Spirit says thank, you gotta thank, oh Lord. You gotta thank when the Spirit says thank. You gotta lead when the Spirit says lead. You gotta lead when the Spirit says lead. 'Cause when the Spirit says lead, you gotta lead, oh Lord. Oh, let's lead when the Spirit says lead. Spirit says lead. Spirit says lead. Spirit says lead. You gotta do when the Spirit says do. You gotta do when the Spirit says do. 'Cause when the Spirit says do, you gotta do, oh Lord. You gotta do when the Spirit says do. Spirit says do. Spirit says do. Spirit says do. Yeah.
Please be seated.
This last month, I had the chance, as I mentioned, to meet several people for this service, and it has been a great pleasure, for which I feel a lot of gratitude. So we actually have quite a few announcements today, but before I go through the ones I have, we have someone who actually has his own announcement. Warren?
Hold on. Everybody in the room can hear you, but everybody not in the room can't.
That's true, and that may be good. Anyway, I'll make this brief. I wanted to let people know that yesterday, over a dozen people helped clean up the church, more specifically the area behind the church with all the dead wood, the garbage and stuff. There's a large dumpster that's still in the parking lot back there, and it is overfull. It was amazing. So thank you, everybody.
That is amazing. Thank you, Warren, and thank you everyone that was able to make it out yesterday. So our first announcement, our woven basket today is for Emerge Center Against Domestic Abuse. Wonderful organization. I have worked with them closely for the last 15 years. I can say that their case managers, their staff are super dedicated and working with the population that they serve. Mesquite Madness. So Mesquite Madness fundraiser is next Sunday after the service. You can find the item catalog on our website, now under the heading Mesquite Madness Invitation. Many of you should have already gotten an email with a direct link to view the catalog online and print it at home. And of course, we do have some on hand for those who don't have computers. So anyone who has never participated gets a 10-minute head start on bidding. And if you can't attend, you can ask a friend to bid for you. But you do need your own bidder number. And I believe both Jane and Paula will be at a table afterwards. Am I correct? Are they in the room? Yes, excellent. And we all owe a huge thank you to all the donors who make this possible. With all the donations we have, activities are being offered every week from December through April. We also have, kicking off today begins our 3 weeks of sharing our gratitude with the many people who lead our programs and projects. MVU Meet Yourself. So please stop by and learn about the hard work and leadership that many provide. There'll be tables out there with the various committees that you can speak to the people there. And you might even find yourself saying yes to an opportunity to serve the congregation and give of your many gifts and talents. There's a 7-altar project. So 7 altars are up around the congregation for All Souls, Hallowtide, Dia de los Muertos, and Day of the Dead. These will only be up for 2 more Sundays, and then we'll switch to 7 new altars for the winter holidays. So if you're interested in crafting one of the winter holiday altars, please talk to Reverend Matthew. And today's closing is by Releasing the Flame. Releasing the Flame, Community Means Strength by Starhawk. We are all longing to go home to some place we have never been, a place half remembered and half envisioned. We can only catch glimpses of from time to time. Community. Somewhere, there are people to whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throats. Somewhere, a circle of hands will open to receive us, eyes will light up as we enter, voices will celebrate with us whenever we come into our own power. Community means strength. Community means strength that joins our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us when we falter, a circle of healing, a circle of friends, someplace where we can be free. Thank you, and blessed be.
I need your help. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. If you feel so moved, get up and give it a shake.